people don't know how to respectfully speak their truth. They don't know how to maneuver in the heart of the heat of the bad conversation. And you need to know how to dance in that darkness and what's going on.
Fail for you.
Do I trust the person in the step? Do I trust myself? Do I have the skill set to do it? And it doesn't come just by sitting reading a book on osmosis. It comes by practicing. That's why I did 36 different conversations. I create games. One year I created a game when I was doing accountability, because we taught crucial conversations for mastering dialogue. And I was teaching crucial accountability. I thought, okay, how do I hold people accountable? What's the game I can play? And I stupidly created a game that I'm going to speak up every time someone cuts in front of me in line somewhere. I'm going to speak up to the person who cuts in front of me for a year.
For a year? How many people cut in front of you in line?
Well, and here's the thing.
What would you
Phil,
say?
Well, real quick, Phil, I got to paint the whole picture here. I typically don't care. It's never bothered me.
Yeah.
But I thought, what's the one thing that would make me uncomfortable that I need to practice?
These people probably aren't even in lines anymore. Do y'all even know what a line is?
Well, yeah, but
here's the thing. Back in the line days.
But here's when I traveled all the time.
Oh, so at airports.
Oh everything.
God, you're in queues all over the place.
Well, I've got to tell you, this is a great story. I was teaching crucial conversations in New York City. I was coming back. It was like June. It was nice and comfortable in New York, but and I get up at 4 a.m. wherever I am. I worked out. I taught all day. I taught the day before. Jump on a plane. There's some changes, and this is probably in 2005, 2006. And got to Austin, and we got to Austin like at 2 a.m. And I'm going to my going to jump on the spotted thing to go get to my car.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get on. It's 2 a.m. and this is before Austin was as busy as it is. The guy goes, "We're full." And I looked, I go, "There's a seat right there." He goes, "No, new insurance guidelines, we can't. There'll be one coming along in a minute." I said, crap. But then I looked, and there's a line of 20 people behind me at 2 a.m. I thought, wow. I said, at least I'm at the front of the next one, and I knew it was going to be a while. We sat there. The line kept getting bigger and bigger. I guess there had been storms around the area. And this one guy comes and he walks around and he goes down he goes kind of down here. Another guy kind of gets behind him and goes down there. I thought, surely they're not. Surely they're not.
In a different line.
They're not going to try to jump on. Well, the one bus came up, and I was on the green bus, the fast parking ride. The spotted bus came up.
Yeah.
I stepped back. Not one person stepped forward. They're all waiting for that. Those two guys didn't do anything. Next, the fast parking ride comes up. They start to get on.
And that's your bus.
That's our bus. And I'm on the front of the line.
And you had this accountability piece?
And well,
you made this commitment?
I'd already made the commitment to myself.
Normally
I would have let it go.
2 people, you're going to get on that bus.
Yeah.
But you were accountable.
Yeah. And I said, "Hey, don't know if y'all saw it, but there's a line back here." And the second guy goes, "Oh," and he walked around to the back of the line. The other one goes like this, steps on the bus. And then I yell, "I guess the rest of us just don't matter, do we?"
Whoa.
And you could hear it across the parking lot. So I walk up, get on the bus. He comes at me. He goes, "You mother..." He just started cussing at me.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, "You called me out in front of everyone." And I said, "You're going to come at me?" I said, "The other guy turned around. You made a conscious effort not to." And he starts cussing again. And all of a sudden, I see these little Mickey Mouse ears on this kid next to me. And my brain comes on.
Yeah.
And what I did, I said, "Sir, I'm sorry." On my part, I said, "I'm sorry, you're right. That was disrespectful, yelling at you in front of everyone. I'm so sorry." He got even madder. You know why? Because in that moment, I owned my part. Now he's left with his behavior.
Yeah.
That's so much more, because until I did that, he could blame me for being disrespectful.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I turned it on. I was just trying to be. He got even madder. I said, "No, sir, please accept my apology. I'm so sorry." And he sat down and he's looking. I said, and I was like, "I'm sorry." And I'm already shaking because of adrenaline's going.
I imagine.
And it's tense on the bus. Everyone gets on. Finally, he sees all the eyes looking at him. He grabs his stuff. He goes, "You guilted me off." And the whole bus goes, "Get off the bus." And I said,
Oh, so he got off the bus?
"Oh yeah," he got off the bus, and everyone's like, "Yeah." It was like a mob mentality. And here's the thing.
Oh my God.
I was ashamed because I had been disrespectful. His bad behavior doesn't allow me. I did not make that commitment to myself to shame people. I made the commitment to get better. And here's the thing. I taught Crucial Conversations that morning. I did terrible. I failed. And even on the ride to the cars, I just told everyone, I said, "Hey," I said, "that's not what I meant." "Well, I said, "No," I said, "that's not right. We don't treat people like that." And I kind of had a little mini lesson for people on the bus that night. I said, "That's not what I meant to do."
Because you modeled poorly as a
right,
leader.
Exactly. I failed. And I went to bed that night. And one of the things we always talk about is turn a bad day into good data. Okay?
Yeah, learn from your mistakes.
Right. And so I thought, what did I learn? Never hold someone accountable in front of others.
Yeah, you
Do
give
it
positive
quiet.
feedback in public, negative feedback in private.
Right. And sure enough, what happened? 2 weeks later, you're challenged on your test. Did you learn it? And I'll never forget, I was in DFW airport, and we had three.
Same bus issue?
No.
Okay.
It was a line issue,
Yeah.
but we were in DFW, and we had 3 gate changes. And the last one, I had to go across all the way to D from A. And I was like, I can't believe this. And we're sitting there, and I'm sweating and all this. And everyone's in line. We're all going to get there. And sure enough, this guy, he probably was 6'6", probably 250. You could tell he works out all the time. And he just stepped in front. It was like a wall stepping up. And everyone's doing something. I was like, oh my gosh. Please, someone else speak up, because I didn't want to.
Oh, my God.
So I waited, and I looked at someone, and I said, "Can you watch my bag?" And I walked up to him. I tapped him. He goes, "Yeah." I go, yeah. I'm looking at him. I go, "Sir," and I quietly said, "I'm not the line police or anything, but there's a line here, and you stepped up, and you stood in front of, and I don't care. You're welcome to stay here. I just want you to know, it affected a lot of people around you behaviorally. Just thought you might want to know. Take that information. I wish you the best."
Yeah.
Most respect. I turned around, went back, and that was so hard. And he just kept looking forward. And about 2 or 3 minutes after, you could tell him doing this. He's getting the eyes. And then he turned around, went to the back of the line. And he came on. I was sitting up toward first class. And when he came on, I didn't know what he's going to do, because I knew I was going to pass him. Mm-hmm. And when he walked by, I thought, what's he going to do? He goes, "Thank you." He said, he whispered, "Thank you."
Really?
Yeah, because he wasn't being mean. He
Might have
wasn't
just
being
been
unconscious.
oblivious.
Yeah, he was. And
Autopilot.
he's a big guy, and he stood, but he didn't want to create that for others. What was the difference in those two? One was private.
Private conversation.
public.
Negative feedback in private,
Yeah.
positive feedback in public.
And that was a story. It was a long story, but it really lays out what you can learn when you create a game.
And
for
it was
yourself.
more than the public versus private. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought, what would happen if you would have yelled out the same thing? "Hey, I'm not the line police, but
No,
you're welcome to stay there." Like, what if you did the same thing public? Because there was a lot of differences between those two executions.
Yeah.
Right? Not just the
Oh, yeah.
public-private, but your easy manner.
Right.
And you weren't judging him.
Yeah.
You were making him aware of the impact of his actions, which he probably didn't intend.
But I suggest this, and I truly think if I would have, because I really believe the guy did get off the bus, on the bus.
Yeah.
I really believe that if I would put my luggage on the thing, sat down right next to him, said, "Sir, you just shrugged your shoulders when we've been sitting there. We're all trying to do this. I'm not you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But if I would have told him quietly,
Yeah.
I do believe he would have picked up his stuff and he would have gotten off. I think that was totally me. Now,
Yeah.
am I responsible for how people take things? No.
We don't want to get our ass whooped out there.
Right. And
First and foremost,
right.
we don't want to get our ass whooped out there.
Yeah, if it was
that
if,
6'6" guy, there was more than one reason he gave him that quiet.
Right, but if it had been a bar at a bar or something at night, I wouldn't have done that either. Yeah, always think of your own safety around that.
Yeah.
But I knew I was safe in a public space like that. But you asked the question, are you responsible for how other people take it? No, you are responsible for what you do.
And the impact, you're going to get a consequence.
Right. Well, and, both ways, one creates one thing, one creates another.
Yeah, I talked to comedians on the show, and I don't know if it's on the show with people I've interviewed or just watching other comedians talk about it. They said, you can tell whatever joke you want to tell. You have free speech to tell any joke you want.
Right.
But there's going to be a consequence.
Right.
You just need to be willing to accept the consequence of whatever joke you tell. Because it doesn't, just because you're a comedian doesn't mean there's not an impact and not a consequence.
Right. Absolutely.
And same goes for airport shuttle lines and boarding lines too.
Yeah, absolutely. And people will come and ask me, what should I do about this or that? I don't know what people should do. Only you. What I can do is help you have that conversation if you're interested in really having it. And that's just it. Because I tell people all the time, if you want to play with it, if there's a conversation you put off or you haven't had, we can play with that.
And the book has it. The book has all the roadmap to doing that in this book.
Roadmap to do that, yeah.